Those of us who are part of the Hampton Classic, we all share the love of the horse. And this lady who I'm with today, Christine Barrett DiStefano, you have a great love of horse, and you've taken that and created something that is so worthwhile and part of the Hamptons. And thank you for inviting us to your farm.
Thank you for coming.
For those of our viewers who don't know Christine Barrett DiStefano, you started Amaryllis Farm in 2005, and since its inception, you've saved over 90 horses from slaughter, to put it bluntly.
Yeah.
And
brought in 90 personally here. We've saved, we worked with over 100 from coast to coast, getting them into homes and being the center where people can call and say, I have a horse in trouble, what can you do? And we've got different contacts in different areas now that we work with. And
Christine, you rely totally on the support of the public.
Completely on donations from the public that care. It costs an enormous amount to support a horse in anywhere in the country. And we've got a lot of horses needing a lot of support. And with the economic downturn, our donations have bottomed out, and our horses have really, they've been coming in. I'm taking care of 45 horses now. We've got a few of them are adopted, but they need me to take care of them because we live in an expensive area to board a horse once you adopt them. So we keep them on here a little cheaper. And just, we're still doing the work for free. We're all volunteers, and we love horses. And the horses that, worked in an entire lifetime. We've got Hampton Classic winners here. We've got racetrack. We've got Secretariat's great-grandson in the barn.
But what happened? They were all abandoned in some sort of a way?
We've got a couple of horses who Promise, who you'll meet, and Ace, their owners died. Tragically, she fell out of a hayloft. And she had 3 horses. So, we've taken on responsibility of 2 of those horses, and we've got a racehorse that was injured on the track, and he's only 3. We've got a little pony who their home went into foreclosure, and he had nowhere to go. So, he came in. And when we first started, I was buying horses off the slaughter trucks to save them right and left. And now we're well known, and unfortunately, it didn't help a whole lot with the donations, but it sure increased the number of calls and emails and requests for somebody to help their horse. I want to help their horse. I want to be here, especially for the blue-collar horses, the police horses, the carriage horses, the horses that have earned their right to retire safely, not in the hills of North Carolina, but somewhere where you can reach out and touch your horse and make really sure that your horse is being taken care of.
Christine, could you introduce us to some of your horses and the story behind them?
Absolutely.
And again, for our viewers, this is something that you can support through donation. You could also adopt a horse.
You can adopt a horse. You can virtually adopt a horse. You can adopt a horse and take over their expenses, and I'll take care of them for you. You can adopt a horse from Bridgehampton to Southampton if you have, room in your backyard, and I'll continue to help. I'll do whatever I need to do to support that horse to get him into, a safe home. Or you can adopt a horse, and, you just might find the horse of your dreams here, or 2, or 3.
A little bit before we introduce our viewers to all of these beautiful horses that you have here. Plus, I've also seen some ducks, chickens, and rabbits. So I guess
got some wild turkeys, but they come and go at least.
About yourself, how did you get into this, and what was your motivation to doing all of this?
When I was 4, I found out that people eat horses, and it honestly blew me away. And I love horses, and I'm very, tunnel vision. It's horses. It's nothing but horses. It's always been that way with me.
For us to leave the grounds of the Hampton Classic Horse Show and come to your place, your farm, where you do this great work. But there are certain people that see things that are wrong and don't react. But you've seen the need, and you've thrown yourself in it.
Right.
And it is 24/7. Sundays and holidays don't make a difference.
No.
That's why we're here. We want our viewers who share the love of horse to know that there are people like Christine out there who need your help. Let's introduce some of our horses here.
Okay. Well, we can travel down the line.
Yeah.
You can meet the firstborn of Amaryllis. So they don't all get saved and come in. Some of them are a complete surprise. The white mare here, this is Mama. I saved Mama from a feedlot, loading on a slaughter truck. They would have separated the 2-month-old baby that was nursing on her, and usually they'll just go to the tanners. They use the foals under 6 months old for skin. I believe somebody told me it was cordovan leather. And when Mama's son was weaned, and he's now adopted, happily living in Southampton, she continued to get large. And I had my vet come down. A couple times she looked at her and said, well, you know, all your horses are too fat. And then finally I said, yeah, but this one's starting to walk funny. And so Nora came down and probed her, and sure enough, Mama was pregnant. And on March 19th at 2 in the morning, Lakota was born. In a big way. I didn't have to do
looking at
anything.
Lakota right now,
Looking at
peering
Lakota
over the
right
fence.
now. She's just, you know, a little over 3 years old, and this is the year I start working with her. And now there's a big difference. She knows no fear. She is incredibly brave. She's never been treated wrong. So she, you know, it's interesting because we've got the horses that were beaten and abused. We've got every different imaginable case come in here. And it's funny, when one of your own never sees poor treatment, they have no fear. They have no issues, nothing.
So we have Lakota and...
This is Leo, old Leo. Lakota is pretty sure that Leo's her dad, and Leo might be pretty sure, actually, too. At this point, I'm not going to argue with him. He's an old quarter horse, and he's been babysitting them and keeping them safe, and Mama adores him. They stand around grooming each other day and night. It's important, especially for the older horses, that when they pair bond, that they're allowed to remain together. So these guys have 24-hour, you know, turnout. They can go in and out as they choose, and so that way we don't have arthritic issues. And Jack Sparrow is getting me from behind. I'm sorry, Captain Jack Sparrow.
We'll be with you in a second, Jack.
And the older horses, horses are very, very dependent. They don't have the independence of a cat or even a dog. You know, cats and dogs can actually function out there in the world pretty well in this area, but a horse cannot. So they're completely dependent on you. And since they're a prey animal, they need to be protected. They feel they need to be with the herd, at least with a partner. They need to be protected. Completely different mentality from a predator. We're predators. Us, dogs, cats, we're predators. But horses, when they get older and they get they're match made in heaven and they're together, I will under no circumstances split them up.
So this is a family.
They're married. Theirs is their herd.
We have Mom, Dad, and Dakota.
Yep.
And Mom's a little shy back there, isn't she?
Well, if you look when she turns, she's got a hot brand. She's got a freeze brand on her shoulder, which did not hurt. She has a hot brand like you'd brand a cow. That hurt. And she's got that on her butt. She was just used as a brood mare and very, very afraid when she came in, but very, very smart. She's Arabian Appaloosa. Extremely good combination. Very calm and smart and bomb-proof, but she does, if you can get the camera around the corner, she will tilt her head like that into him all day long. She just loves him. Her husband, she watched, they brought her, the foal that was nursing on her, and her stallion into the feedlot. Somebody did save the stallion. I know, he did get saved that day, but they were split up. It's mean, and people don't consider the life of, the animal.
And through your efforts, you're saving this beautiful family. So, all right, who's this guy who was nipping us both?
This is Captain Jack Sparrow.
Hey, Captain Jack, how are you?
Say hello to Johnny
Hello.
Depp. Maybe he's watching. Jackie boy. If ever there was a horse with a broken spirit, it was this one. And, when he got on the trailer to come home, I posted that on the internet. I said, Jack Sparrow looked backwards off his trailer and said, "This will be the day you shall always remember as the day you almost got Captain Jack Sparrow." He came here, and my best horse, he was only here about a week, and I had to pull him to this barn and let him work with my best horse because his spirit was broken. He just didn't want to pick his head up. He just was depressed beyond what I've ever seen an animal go through. And I gave him to Bay, and for 3 days, Bay worked with him, and then he started to play. And he just really came around, and now he's been fine ever since. He just turned 5. He's young.
Hey, Christine, you have volunteers that come in and play and
No microphones. Do you want Pirate is the one on the left there. He's got the little brand. Pirate watched his entire herd head off to slaughter. The gentleman was a breeder of quarter horses, very, very nice quarter horses, and he had a catastrophe happen. He had to list the horses on the internet to give them a chance. Pirate's now, he's facing the house back there. And I sent a check to save Pirate, and the day the guy got the check, the slaughter truck came and loaded the rest of the herd. So Pirate watched his mother and his aunts, and I mean, phenomenal horses. I have pictures of them, actually, of some of them on the wall in the barn in memory. And so Pirate's the only survivor of his herd, and he's just only turning 4 this year. He's just a baby. So the one in front of him is D'Artagnan. We got him at 1.5 years. He's a Mustang, believe it or not, and he's from the Yakima Indian Reservation. This is Amulet. Amulet loves cameras. Amulet is 9. He came from a feedlot out west. He's very, very high strung. He wants to be understood, and he was very frightened when he was broke to ride. Amulet's since been adopted, and his bracelet namesake is actually going to be a presence at the Hampton Classic. I guess our only presence. The Amulet bracelet Amy Pilkington designed, all precious stone healing qualities. So Amulet's going to be famous, right, Amulet?
Amulet is very handsome, beautifully. Now, are these horses ridden here when they're
We ride, yeah. I muck a whole lot more than I ride, but yes, we ride. We don't jump, and the horses don't compete or anything, but we teach riding, we teach English and Western, and we teach kids, and it's all centered riding and dressage basics. We have the kids ride bareback. We hold them on so they don't fall off, but we get them on their bareback, and we teach them so that they become adept enough being around the horses to be able to go off and do any discipline. So they can go to, leave here and then go to, Alex at Two Trees, who I've known my whole life, and, learn how to jump and go win, because they're already comfortable around the horses. But not just that, they can actually, they'll know how to feed a horse and take care of a horse and what a horse needs. They're all important components. It's not just the ribbon. And I want to turn out kids that can actually groom and braid and tack up and, do their own work on their own horse before they walk into a show.
There was that famous story of, was it Henry DeLayer?
Harry DeLayer?
With
Snowman?
Snowman, yes. I think it was a Disney movie.
He bought him off, well, it's true, he bought him off a slaughter truck. Found out, nobody could jump like Snowman, and Harry DeLayer could hang on like no one else. And, I mean, look what he did. The horse made the entire family. We've got East End Stables, and I think there was another DeLayer up in St. James.
That's right.
And all great horsemen, if you look close, understand everything I say is from the horse's point of view, but all great horsemen had one great horse that made them. Otherwise, who were they? When you think about it. You've got amazing riders, and amazing riders get offered amazing horses to ride year after year. But it's the horse who does 95% of the partnership.
Well, horses, and all of these movies and books, Horse Whisperer, is there something behind all of that?
You know what it is? It's understanding a language. Natural horsemanship is horsemanship learned from the horse. If you don't learn from the source, what do you really know? And that's all, the term natural horsemanship, it's kind of coined and used all over now, but it's just understanding the language of a horse and becoming fluent in pony, or fluent in, stubborn Appaloosa, or fluent in, Mustang.
Christine, there's a paint on Pocahontas.
It is. Well, that's a big R. That's so she stood out at the feedlot that day, and we would see the R for Rescue Me. Her name is Pocahontas. and she is the beloved friend of Captain Jack Sparrow. They spend 24/7 together. Very, very good friends. She's only just turned 3 this year. She was at a feedlot at a different location in Washington, heading for Mexican slaughter. The dealer at that feedlot ships direct to Mexico. And, you know, she was there because she was a year and a half, and people didn't want to wait an extra year, you know, to keep feeding her until they train her. She's small. She's a pony. She's a Mustang. She's a real Mustang. You see the zebra stripes on her legs?
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome markings. But it was the R that saved her. You know, I watch 1,000 horses a week go to slaughter, and I pick the ones that I pick. It has to be something, you know, off the wall. Usually it's their eyes. Her picture was blurry except for that R. This is Apache. Apache is a Mustang from the Yakima Indian Reservation in Washington. Apache is my horse. I claim only one. I have one horse. You take care of 1,000,000, just one horse is mine.
And the story of Apache.
Well, Apache, he definitely had a friend on the reservation because, I mean, he came in wanting a friend really badly. They have a pretty evil way of gelding him on the reservation. They gather him and they tie him and they geld him. And he was pretty scarred up. So he's been, you know, the first year and a half, he was so afraid of ropes or anybody walking behind him quickly. He's very, you know, his instincts are very Mustangs, very feral, completely different from all the other horses. He could stand still and jump, you know, 10 feet straight up in the air and then buck and take off. I've never seen anything so fast and so athletic in my entire life, which is, of course, why I wanted him.
And how long have you had Apache?
Well, it's been about 3.5 years, almost 3.5 years.
And he represents everything that
Everything,
you
of course.
value
Yeah.
in doing this and
Yeah.
in horse rescue and in starting this Amaryllis Farm.
Right. And
He was
and a
abused
horse.
and he was abandoned.
Yep, and he's phenomenal, phenomenal horse.
Christine, this is Heartbreaker.
Heartbreaker is, she's branded. She's a little broken heart there. It wasn't too hard to come up with her name. Beautiful girl. I saved her from a feedlot in Washington because I couldn't figure out why you would be on a feedlot when you looked like that. And she was only 3.5. And we actually traced her brand and found out her story was she was bred in Northern California, brought to a quarter horse breeding farm in Nevada. The owner of the farm split up with his girlfriend. She took 9 horses and left. 2 months later, this horse was on the feedlot heading for slaughter, and nobody knows what happened to the other horses. She has rope tie marks on her legs, on her head, on her neck, where she was, you know, they tied up a leg, tied up another, you know, tied her head to her chest, you know, tough cowboy types. Got on her and just blew her mind. Just blew it. If ever a horse needed a psychiatrist or, you know, their last person to talk to, it's this one. She actually was adopted. I got her 20 acres, and she went out with an Appaloosa that we had, Mr. Bear, who also lost all of his respect for humanity. And as much as she feared them, he disliked them, you know, and they lived there for almost 2 years. And Mr. Bear, I thought he had an aneurysm, and the vet said no, he was struck by lightning. Which I remember horses at Topping Riding Club, you know, when I was a kid. I remember things happening like that, and you know, you hear about it, but he was struck by lightning, and hit the ground, and so she's back home.
Becky?
Yeah, that's Becky. She's the fat little duck. The ducks are fun. The ducks have more fun playing. The chickens kind of go about their own business, but the ducks play in the pool and tackle each other all day long.
And kids come. Is there a camp here also?
Yeah, we do camps and clubs and petting farms, and the kids can come and, you know, collect chicken eggs and pet the pigs. It's fun.
And you were born
Southampton.
in Southampton. So did you on a farm or?
No, I'm the last of 7 kids, and you know, so my father was working like 3 jobs his whole life. And he's, you know, you want to be around the horses, you better make yourself, useful. So that my first job was when I was 8 at Sears Bellows, leading the pony around the ring, doing pony rides. And that's what we do here. I let the kids come in, the families that can't afford it, and, you know, help out and learn how to groom the horses and, you know, learn about what we're doing and help take care of them.
And what's Mr. Pig's name? Or
Oh my gosh, that's Octavius is the white pig, and Sir Lancelot is the black pig. The kids named them. I'm not responsible for those names. Little potbelly pigs. They're full grown.
and were they rescued also?
They were. There were 15 of them born to 2 rescued sows, and we had a horse trailering in, and they jumped on the horse trailer, and here they are. And the ducks that are with them are male ducks. There's 5 male ducks, so there's only 1 male that's in with the girls, and then we have the 2 males with the pigs so that they don't, you know, tackle each other, and then we have the other 2 males separate. The dynamics setting this place up so that everyone gets along got kind of interesting. And then the birds, we had the 1 dove came in injured, and then 3.5 weeks later the other dove came in, and it's the spitting image of the first dove. And somebody gave us the big bird cage. Actually, the Art Farm gave me the big bird cage to sell on eBay, and it became their house. So now every time I see a cage, I think, oh God, something's going to come to fill it.
So you know firsthand what Noah went through,
Yeah,
trying to bring all the animals to try
Right.
to...
Exactly. It's not easy.
and this is one of your volunteers.
This is my greatest volunteer. This is my daughter.
Oh,
Rachel is the ASPCA Kid of the Year 2007. And she is with me 7 days a week, taking care of the animals and teaching the kids. She's fantastic teaching the kids, much better than me because, you know, she is a kid. She speaks kid. I speak horse.
and as you mentioned, ASPCA.
The ASPCA Kid of the Year.
I saw on your website she received a fabulous award and
Yeah,
everything.
the Rainbow Room, you know, coming from a couple of hicks who've only been in the city, you know, twice in my entire life. The first time was to be pet CPR certified at ASPCA. And then the second time for Rachel's ASPCA award. The city is scary. I have no idea how people go in the city. I've never seen buildings like that in my life. Oh my gosh.
And your daughter would receive this honor,
She
and what a
received the
proud moment for you.
And she made a speech. I mean, right in front of everyone in the Rainbow Room. And she spoke about how horse slaughter has to end and how animal care needs to be taught in the classroom. Because she said it's incredible, you know, and I'm paraphrasing, but it's incredible how little my friends know about animals and how to take care of them. So we started an initiative last year where now we take our minis and we go to the schools. And if we can't get the schools to come here, we're going to go to them and bring them the ponies and bring them the animals and start to teach some animal care out there because, you know, it's what you do in this world and leave behind that's most important. So we're going to get out there and reach as many kids as we can. This is Promise. Promise is only 8 years old. Promise's owner, young woman, fell out of a hayloft and she died and left 3 horses behind. This is something that people that have horses have to think ahead about. What's going to happen to my horse? So her husband's trying to hold on to her 1 Appaloosa, and we have him backed up if there's ever a problem. We took in her 27-year-old thoroughbred and her 8-year-old little baby Paint here. And yeah, I mean, you have to think about what's going to happen in the future of your horse. This is Little Pie. He's Secretariat's great-grandson. Oh, boy. And he's just turned 3 years old, and he's off the racetrack in Belmont. He had gotten an injury. He's had some bone chips in his knees. You know, look at him. We've been feeding him like there's no tomorrow for 3 months now. He looked like a greyhound. He just looked like a yearling with a rib cage. A little baby, little horse. And so what we do with a horse like him is he's just going to get a year of eating and being played with and being told he's amazing. His stall, he has 24-hour turnout, so he can come in and out of the barn as he needs to, so he doesn't get stiff. And, you know, he's one that we ask for support, like the older horses where he should be on Cosequin or a joint supplement now. So we've got horses that aren't just eating hay. You know, we have some senior horses and some young horses that are eating special fibergized grain because they need it, and then others that need, you know, medical help. You know, Cushing's medicine, we need Pergolide, we need joint supplements. Little horses like this are, very, very special. His brother broke his leg on the track. Evidently his trainer was, the owners didn't know, never considered the fact that something might happen. This was their firstborn baby, and they didn't realize something might happen on the track. And they had read an article on me in the New York Times, and they called and said, can you take him? He's walking sound. His knees are swollen, but, trainer said he could run one more time. I said, no, I'll take him. And I did. And his brother, they did run that one more time, and he did break his leg. So racing is hard. The sports are hard. If everybody gave $1, we'd be fine. The horses would be fine. What I do, I serve a necessary need for the horses. Horses live well into their 30s. So the ponies, mules live into their 40s. I serve a need, not just as a retirement place, but for a layup, place for an injured horse, or somebody loses their job and, our economic downturn. We serve a need, and we serve the horses.
Christine, you've created a not-for-profit organization that depends solely on donations in order to survive.
Right, exactly. Public donations. We don't exist without them. We're doing the work for free, but we need the help to, buy what the horses need. They need food, they need shelter, they need care, they need medical supplies, and we need that help. And every little bit helps. If somebody foregoes a couple of, what are they called, lattes at Starbucks, I could buy 50 pounds of grain for one of the senior horses. That would last, a few days, several days. If someone foregoes maybe a trip to the movies with their kids just once, we could support a pony for almost a month. And, all mathematics are done in my head in pounds of grain and bales of hay now. It's not even done in dollars and cents.
And the horses have to eat.
The horses have to eat. They have to survive. And most of them, they're former working horses. They're blue-collar horses. They earned the right. There should be a horse union. I would love to start the horse union where, a percentage of their winnings is put aside for their retirement fund. Why don't they have a pension plan? They should have one.
Well, you're speaking to an audience that loves horses in competition, and loves horses for all they give to us as people. What is the most direct way that our viewers can contact you?
Via the website, hamptonshorserescue.com. You can call the barn, 631-537-7335. I almost never answer the phone because I'm never in the office, but you can leave a message. My cell phone is actually listed on the answering machine. You can get me immediately. Or email, it's easy. It's Christine@ahorserescue.com. And, just reach out and get on the website and learn. And I understand people, loving competition horses and loving, what the horses can do. And what we want to do is show people to love the horses for who they are. There's a big difference there.
There's no reason why you can't enjoy both, provided
all of it.
It doesn't fall on the shoulders of the few people like yourself who have taken up this
right.
need.
We can't do it alone. I mean, I take care of about 45 horses every day, and we help. We help a couple of horses in different areas and, local backyards. You'd be surprised at the poverty in this area. And we feed those horses, because if we don't, I'm going to end up with them here. And that expense and more rent and, so we're helping horses actually all over the place. Somebody needs to help us.